All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Dandy, Season 2, Episode 6. Last week we had the old dandy in the sea, but now we are on to new things.
Yes, new waters that could hold all kinds of deep sea mysteries.
Quite, and hopefully Dr. Gel will make an appearance.
Yes, and plunge his very erotic spaceship into the situation.
Yep.
To go after Dandy. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Because, a man wants what a man wants.
He wants that pompadour.
He wants that pompadour.
He wants it bad.
He wants it so bad. But thing is that our characters are also coming up, towards, I would say, kind of the midway point of the season so far. So, there's not much left. And then, we might end up having them actually have to, interact with Dr. Gel.
That's true. This episode, this one, might be the one where we finally get some continuity.
No. The joke of this whole thing is that at what point are things going to just spiral so out of control that the show itself unravels?
Sure, the writers realize, I need to end this with a bang since we're going to be like the last few episodes of this show.
Right.
Let's just take it as wacky as literally possible.
Right. What is the either the most mundanely silly or the most outlandishly crazy and wacky? Without further ado, let's just find out and jump right into it. Oh!
Yes!
A luchador! So we get to see...
Let's do it.
A luchador with a pompadour.
Wait.
Yeah. That was Honey. Oh yeah! Get him! Ooh! Get him! Dr.
Yes!
Gel.
Oh my god, yes.
What is this?
This is something beautiful is what it is.
This is very different. I like it.
Is this going to be like Honey gets kidnapped and then they have to rescue her or something? Watch, they kidnap her, but they're actually like, okay, so we need you to solve this for us once and for all. Boobs or butt? Which is actually better? We can't decide, and there's just two of us on this ship.
Yeah. No, we looked up all the cliche stories and we're like, how do we get the main character to,
to be chasing them for us?
Yes, exactly. You interacted with him in the first few episodes a bit, but we're not actually friends or anything. It's a purely professional relationship. Damn it! Well, maybe you can help me find out what do I really want out of life then?
Yeah.
Well, clearly, Dandy just seems to be enjoying life, and you're not. So, what do you like most about life?
Oh my god, yes. This
chasing Dandy. No, you're not getting it.
No, but what if this episode ended with Dandy and Gel talking about their differences at a table at Boobies?
Wow. Okay.
And that was how it resolved.
I could definitely get behind that, yeah.
Not like the perfect man's gonna come waltzing in here and plunk a ring down on your desk.
Oh my god.
Hunters of dogs and dorks.
Wow.
Tell me about it.
Dead ass.
Not too easy on the eyes. We're taking your lonely asteroid to a space mixer.
You might meet someone dandy and gentle.
Yes!
Dandy and gentle? Where do I sign?
Where does one find a dandy man in the vast infinity of
I love it.
So
Just
good.
left of camera, it would seem.
I would expect nothing less.
You know you're sucking on your own tail, right?
That would explain why it tasted all familiar.
What's with the laugh track?
Give up on the
I don't
Cloudian
know.
and catch something easier?
What I lack in life, it ain't food or woolongs.
It's
I
boobies.
need love to grow.
Total body fat, less than 1%.
Oh my god.
Total water, 30 cubic centimeters.
Oh my
He
god.
was less thrashed when he was a zombie.
I think the
Hey,
prolonged
that's a
lack
callback.
of food and water is making him crazy.
He wasn't before.
Love's not something you grab with a tractor beam. It's something you give to the world, all
Ah.
naked and sexy, vulnerable. And I'm about to blow.
Oh my god.
His name is Sir Gentle Nobra. He's one of Dandy's elusive Cloudians. The cloud surrounding his ship is actually a part of him. It serves as a storehouse for the data he's gathered from a lifetime of travel.
What?
Okay.
This is so cool. The gallant space gentleman, baby. We set up so many different things. What?
Yeah,
how is it all
over
gonna
one
connect?
episode.
You know him?
Oh, you want Dandy?
We've been led to believe you're well versed in this dandy's comings and goings.
Of course.
So they're analyzing her brain or something to try and figure out where he'd
We're
go?
going to copy your brain's contents into this impressive device under which you now sit.
Okay.
So this is an interesting theme. They're talking about kind of the data of people's...
Oh my. She's got the booty and...
Wait, why was there a laugh track line when no dialogue was spoken?
It's a joke on laugh tracks in general, but they're
I'm not
pointless.
seeing any quality men around here.
Free buffet for women of all species.
I'm a woman.
Me too. Is that Scarlet? Man, she can really pack it away. So what do you think? Is she here for the grub or the love?
Freeloader.
No, she's
Freeloader.
just with your love beam or whatever it was you were saying.
Oh no, I'm not here for that. I'm just tagging along. Oh, that's really sweet of you, but you know how you keep it.
Let me screw you, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I give up.
Well,
Drunk from eating too much, you know.
Yeah.
Leaving already?
Well, she's gonna go all the way around and come back in. Oh, no, okay.
Fear not, madam. I've got you.
Oh,
Oh.
excuse me.
What is wrong with your ears?
Oh,
I mean, he's pretty conventionally
We
attractive.
haven't had
Yeah.
the pleasure of meeting, have we, miss?
no. Falling
He looks
into
like kind of a
your arms, I
bonehead
would
to me.
remember.
And call me gentle, please.
What a name. Though handsome or suave would have worked too.
Wow, gentle and dandy.
Yep.
I just realized that.
That woman floating into the pink cloud. Isn't that Scarlet?
yeah.
I wonder if that means that's the
That's
cloud
such a-
that we've been looking for this
That's
whole
such a
time.
statement to say when you're high. Who's that woman floating into the pink cloud?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe this episode is happening. Just
Me
a
neither.
combination of things.
If a Cloudian searched her out, her life must be pretty crummy. I feel bad for her, that's all.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, Scarlet's no spring chicken anymore, and all that
my
farming
God.
she's always doing at us ain't exactly helping the sell-by date any, you feel me?
Well, aren't you a
God.
smooth talker?
Yeah, Jesus.
It breaks the machine.
Well, that's your problem right there. You're gonna need an Andro Super Great Giga Drive, Doc.
Is it possible this girl is a...
Uh-huh, I'm a Cloudian. Just half, though.
Oh, so she's got so much data in her that it's like,
Uh-huh.
oh,
Okay.
honey was a big deal like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, just casually just being like, yeah, I'm this super rare species, you know?
No big deal.
No big deal. 50-50, you know.
Tell me,
Wait,
are you one of those?
is this her?
No.
Daddy?
On second thought, I don't want to know.
He does have blonde hair.
I know.
Wow. That
Just say
probably.
it, Scarlet.
All that I want is to bring as much happiness to a woman as she's brought to the universe.
Look, I'm sorry. It's just that I get paid to doubt people. At the end of the day, it can be so hard to turn off.
Whoa.
I wish.
That's some good
wish I were a
characterization.
person.
No, don't say that. Yours is the purest heart I've ever known.
Don't know her though, so
You probably picked up on this already, but a Cloudian reflects his feelings through color and weather conditions within his cloud.
yeah, there's that. Wait.
Oh, did I kill the mood? You just go right ahead.
Oh my god!
All right.
The fact that there's so much.
There's a cloud moving extremely quickly through space. We can't be sure, but that's probably the Cloudian.
There's a lot of little gags this episode. It has to be
Welcome to
regarding
my humble
the
ship,
the
the
sitcom kind of joke of the whole thing, you know?
Yeah,
Rare treat
probably.
Indeed, Sirrah. I am the
But usually
optimist,
laugh tracks make it so that
gentle no-brow.
not as much can be fit into the
My name's
episode.
Dandy. Pleased to meet you. Don't worry. I see the look in your eyes, and I'm here to save you.
Save me from what?
Please warm yourself. You must be chilly. And you, recharge all you like.
It's pretty
Brandy
smooth.
for a dandy.
I respect
Well,
that
What are
quite
you
a bit.
doing here?
Right. Damn near forgot. I'm taking you in, Top Hat.
This whole thing is his domain.
You have a laugh track with low standards.
Well, your sense of hearing is quite keen. Mo,
I love it.
here, hold your tongue.
Say what?
They're known as ambiancians. I hired them to help out on the ship, but drat the luck. All they do is chime in like that.
Wow.
Hey, hold on. Don't fight over me, unless you must.
An SOS signal has been detected.
SOS?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's Dr. Gel.
Yep.
Yep.
They caught me. If you save me, I'll come your next meal.
Whoa, honey?
Lady, is it really you?
Wait.
This is an outrage.
Wait.
I will rescue her forthwith.
Are you nuts? She said dandy.
Stop it.
Hey, wait.
Wait.
Wow.
What about me?
Yeah, what I guess I am all alone in the galaxy.
Yeah. All it took was a younger, prettier girl to show up, and suddenly...
Oh, Dr. Gel, you're such a gentleman.
My gentle nature has been a heavy burden. I am a lover, not a fighter.
Oh,
I can hold
yes.
my own.
Yes.
Gel!
I bet you're a real beast in a fight.
Listen, you besotted fool! After stammering all of the Gogol Empire secrets into her ear, you're just going to let her go, you nincompoop?
What would you have me do?
Kill her!
But Admiral!
Oh, love will win out in the end.
Dr. Gel, I think something's coming.
Really?
It's a very fabulous pink cloud.
Yeah.
Save her with your own ship if you've a mind to.
The Aloha Oi ran out of fuel. Sorry.
Where's the missile?
Wow.
Incendiaries? You jest!
Really? Then what are we gonna do?
Simple. We rely on civilized discourse.
Yes. Yes,
Awesome.
all of this. We grab their little ship with our bigger ship. Oh,
Hey, you're not done, you lightweight.
Push us out there. We're like in space.
Whatever it is, a man did it.
The ship.
Oh my
It's
God.
dandy, sir. It's way too big.
Whoa! Yeah!
Emerald Closey and Slam!
Yes! The wrestling! Yes!
All right. Oh!
Later, Gators!
Oh my
Wow.
Still my heart.
God. Yeah, he's like, I'm in love.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, okay.
All
This is an amazing
We've been
set
surrounded
piece.
by a
Let's
hostile
go.
fleet, sir.
For reals?
Sounds! So this was a trap?
Sound.
That was all basically Zoinks.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And my beautiful cloud, they're destroyed!
How's the no weapons thing working out for you?
I found the emergency eject button.
Into space.
Son of a...
I'm
Okay.
with a fancy ass ship.
Don't be mean. At least Gentle isn't afraid of love.
Love.
She's pouting.
Hard ass, are you?
Oh. Oh. He's getting the full view. I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah.
I was like, huh, that's an interesting thing. He's down there and she's up there. Oh.
Big bro, is it really you?
Oh.
This
Brother
guy
and
is
sister.
Big brother?
Okay.
More or less. They're actually half-siblings. Turns out Honey's real name is Lady Nobra. She's only half Cloudian herself, like she mentioned.
Nobra. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
already
yeah.
running down the clock here, so we'll get into that some other time.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
This small piece was all I could save. I cannot face you cloudless as I am, lady.
But I don't care about that. It's not like I have my cloud.
No, lady. My pride as a gentleman is the one thing I yet possess.
Whenever you're done, big bro, I'm gonna register you right here and now.
Why bother? A Cloudian without his cloud is just a regular old alien.
Got a little bit of a cloud now.
See ya, bro! And good luck! I know you'll gather your cloud again better than ever, you'll see! Be good, okay? Bye-bye!
Wow. Okay. Oh, this
Do you
episode's still
wanna
going.
ride?
Do I ever?
I'll sit in front.
Ha!
I got dibs on the caboose.
Oh, there's no more room.
Oh my
God.
Stupid bounty hunters!
Wow.
See you later. Tune in again, okay?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Uh-huh.
Especially
That was-
if we get more of stuff like that. Oh my God!
wow, that
was an
episode was
amazing episode.
That was so good.
That was like
and I legitimately ended
chock
up
full of
liking the
everything.
laugh track.
Like after a point,
yeah. Like
was because it was like ironic, basically.
Yeah.
After a certain point of sarcastic.
The ambientians.
How do we capture those? Yeah. They like pan over. There's nothing over there. Pan over. Nothing over here.
Oh my god.
Na, 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 na. Hello.
Because like a laugh track is one of those things that usually drives me up a wall.
Oh my god. Oh my
god, I hate them so much.
Yeah.
But wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I am astonished.
Yep.
Like
Same.
I'm impressed and blown away. This was
something.
This was an incredible episode because like Dandy episodes in general, you know, aren't really about the plot. Like
of course not. Right.
It's more about the hijinks and the dialogue and the references and the jokes
and just the good fun.
Yeah, and the stylistic, you know, artistic, you know, expression of all that stuff.
Yep.
But this episode basically took a quintessential, you know, hijinks Dandy episode.
Right.
And just kind of dialed up a couple specific things. Like the jokes. The jokes were actually like really rapid.
Yeah.
And then the laugh track as like a meta joke within the whole layer of the thing.
It worked, like
because an actual character development.
Yeah,
you know,
character development for a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Like some pretty good characterization, which is like it's a really pleasant surprise to get in a show as episodic as Space Dandy, you know, because you know it's not really going to mean anything in the other episodes necessarily.
Not necessarily,
like probably not. It could, but probably
but it doesn't
not.
have to.
But it's still nice to have, right? And it adds to the overall experience of that episode that we get.
Right.
But the other thing that like just blew me away was like you were saying, how quick the jokes were, because that's the big reason why I hate laugh tracks. Like there's two reasons. One, that it slows down the jokes, right? Because there's time usually spent on the laughs rather than telling more jokes. And then two, that usually it's something where it's basically feels talking down to the audience of like, and this is where you're supposed to laugh. That was funny, right? It's I'm telling you it's funny.
Right.
You know, no.
It's actually kind of hilarious because like there's points where I'm laughing and back, like way back, like all across this channel, like I've had like moments where I've laughed about things and like people are like, why are you laughing at that part? I don't want to explain my part that I laugh to you every single time why I'm laughing. That's the equivalent of what a laugh track is. It's like,
basically,
hello, this is funny. Everyone should laugh. No, everyone has a different sense of humor. So, like, let a joke just land. And if it doesn't land that well, then
just move on.
Move on.
And one of the things that I really appreciated about how the laugh track was done in this episode is that oftentimes it was happening in the background while everything else was still going on.
Right.
So, and it was very, very short. So it was like, oh, they did a laugh track thing there, but it wasn't like pause and wait. Like there are things where if you look at shows that have laugh tracks, and if you just mute the show while the laugh track is going, you'll just be like no one's saying anything or doing anything. It's just like they all just sort of stand there, and then they continue on with what they were doing. And it's like, oh my God, no. But then take that whole idea of the laugh track slowing things down and whatnot, and then apply it to the fact that yes, this is a 5-minute, 24-minute or whatever anime episode, right? Yeah. So that's, and I guess it doesn't really happen in like the 45-minuters, even when it is used. But then the fact that this episode covered a bunch of different characters and gave that good characterization for several of them, that makes it even more impressive, because then it's how did the jokes still keep coming that fast when there was all that other stuff in there too? Like, it doesn't make sense, and yet somehow it happened and it worked, and it had, a semblance of an overall narrative over the course of the runtime.
Right. And you could tell that everything was going to connect together by how they kept jumping to different sets of, groups of people doing their specific things. So you have, Scarlet with her coworker who are there, kind of, having to deal with the fact that there's not a lot of interactions that they get with their workplaces and stuff. So they're going to go to a mixer, and it's like, all right, that's sweet. Dandy and them have been, looking for aliens for a while, and they have been unable to eat anything for a long period of time. So they're gaunt, shriveled up, hallucinating on chewing their tails as chicken legs and what have you. And it's like, oh, this is wonderful. This is hilarious. Then all they can do is they conveniently
all
bump
go to the
into
same
each other
place.
at the mixer buffet.
Right.
Meanwhile, while Honey
has been kidnapped by Joe.
Yeah, this was actually the part that I thought was really just kind of clever.
Mm-hmm.
So you set up this new character in the Cloudian, Gentle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's someone that we can't really immediately latch onto necessarily unless they kind of set him up.
Yeah.
But how do they build up to him if no one in the story knows about him? Well, they basically, right in the background, actually Honey knows him.
Yeah.
So Honey's the first character that we get to spend time with, and we show, like, even just for the sake of showing the animation of it, a little wrestling match with luchadors and stuff. And that move is going to be used later, for when she gets free from Dr. Gel. But then it's a thing of where we in our minds start to piece together in a meta way what are the lines of this spider web and how it connects together. And because Honey was shown first, she's going to be the most important piece of this whole thing. So we're like, oh, she's probably got some connection to Gentle.
Like, it's one of those wonderful things where, because this is anime, because it's, and not just anime, but specifically because it's a visual medium, right? You can just skip from one thing to another thing very quickly, right? And you don't need to have a lot of sort of like, all right, now get used to this new environment, because they're familiar enough by playing to tropes and things that we've seen before in the show that they can just do it, right? Oh, okay, this is a Honey Gets Kidnapped episode. Oh, wait, no, but it's not quite. It's actually going to be about love and Scarlet finding love, and they're going to hit the town. Okay, cool. Dandy and the others are starving, you know, all right, awesome. And then they all end up at the same place. It's like the amount of different things that are being set up in such a short amount of time, and yet it doesn't feel jarring because they're all things that we can easily wrap our head around.
Yeah, and Space Dandy has set us up to basically have the feeling that anything can happen. So we are not really judging the story based on kind of its pacing or flow. It's just like, oh, you're just deciding to shove more stuff in here. Awesome. Yeah, usually they're not really doing that. So then in this case, we end up getting a much more plot-heavy kind of story, and it leads to a bunch of like hilarious gags. Like, I love the little stuff at the mixer. Where, you know, he's like, "Hey, we're women," and then the guy, you expect him to be like, "Yeah, what the hell?" And then instead he's like, "Nope, you're preaching to the choir, man. I know where it's at. Absolutely, get in there."
Right.
And then, you know, the stuff of them getting hit on, and even freaking QT getting offered some mechanical like stuff. Like, it looks like a bunch of screws attached to some kind of some nuts, I guess.
Is it just me, or did that seem like it was a
joke?
Well, and potentially a rather dirty joke, because there are screws going in from every angle. Like,
and like, then those are also nuts.
You know,
I'm just saying those are nuts too.
Oh yes, yeah.
So there's yeah.
Well,
it's okay, QT. This one does this to all the other robots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that doesn't make you feel less special, QT. But you know,
exactly.
Yeah, you have quite the round and
smooth. QT's got some good curves.
Good curves, indeed. Yeah. I gotta say, they also upped the snarkiness quite a bit on Meow's dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Very much throwing tons of shade at Dandy. And it was funny because it felt very much like the story was just saying, hey, you've gotten to know Dandy so far, so we're going to just joke about the fact that Dandy is Dandy.
Yep.
And, you know, kind of be a little self-aware with that. Like, hey, look at him. Dandy is pretty ridiculous, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, we're going to go to a place where there will be gentle and dandy men there. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Like,
there was a lot of dialogue jokes in this episode that were quite good.
Like, given the fact that we basically got an introduction of one character for the episode, right? In Gentle, and then we got characterization for two characters in this episode with Scarlet and Honey.
Yep.
And then we got the usual dandies there too.
Right.
But oftentimes when stuff like that happens, like, usually QT and Meow will kind of like exit stage right, you know, on the story. And they didn't have like a ton of relevance to the plot of this episode, but they were still there to give their feedback and their commentary and things like that. And then on top of that, we actually got some
Dr. Gel.
Some Dr. Gel focus and characterization a little bit. Like,
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Exactly.
Yeah. I gotta say, just this whole setup, though, of the alien that has a perpetual kind of weather environment that they control psychically or something like that is a really cool idea, along with the data that's constantly bubbling up from the roses that he's kind of laid out in this garden here, so we can take it and, you know, ingest it and derive pleasure and enjoyment from it over the course of time. That's a really just fascinatingly weird alien for Space Dandy. And I really like it.
And you don't need to be really told much of anything about what it is. You just see it and you understand what's going on.
Yeah, and they did tell us it.
They did tell us a little bit, yeah.
But then the idea that, okay, we're going to have everything spiral quite a bit out of control.
Yep.
The place gets blown up. Meow and Scarlet just drink, you know, their awareness of what's going on away. Honey Freeze herself, is actually like, you know, quite clever with this whole thing, and then just
there was
it just keeps going. It was like really fun.
There were so many things this episode where it's like it's setting you up to assume that you know what the rest of the episode's going to be.
Sure,
you know, like. But then it pulls the rug out from under you, right? And that helps add to the fun and the levity of it.
Right.
But it keeps doing that. Like, because, okay, at the beginning, all right, this is a Honey Gets Kidnapped, Honey Focus episode, you know, and then there were all the different steps along the way where they set something up that you think is recognizable enough so that you're like, I know what's going to happen. And then they do something different. Like the whole thing with the brain scanner thing, and then she breaks it. I figured that was going to be a joke of, no, Honey's not exactly the brightest one in the bunch, you know, kind of a thing, right? And then, no, it's actually that she's so, like, you know, 5 brain that it just completely breaks it because, oh, yeah, I'm actually, you know, half Cloudian. You know, there you go, right? Awesome.
Yeah. I love also the idea that this is in some form, a continuity episode, in that Honey has been a character that's been just there throughout the show.
Yep.
Never really got to know her much at all because, you know, Dandy was piloting the story at that point. But then you get to see her going out to a wrestling match that's way out in the middle of nowhere, and she like takes this sweet bike and, you know, dunes it up and stuff, and it's like, oh, this is really cool. This is awesome. And then the cliche, like, oh yes, like, is really fun. And then, of course, the reveal that she's actually familially related to him. It's not,
but not by blood.
Well, half. So technically, yes.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Did you really think this is a step bro situation? Like, oh my god. Oh, dang. Okay, wow, we went there. Oh my god. But I loved also the idea that Dandy and Scarlet are kind of being pushed into these kind of awkward situations where there could be more development from the two of them when they realize that they each realize their flaws. But Scarlet's line of, you know, my work is to doubt people. I spend all that time doing that, and it bleeds over into other things.
Yep, it's hard to turn it off.
There's a lot of things that I think we do that we get either paid to do specifically, or we get kind of reinforced specifically with regards to doing through patterns, and then we try to like sequester that into a certain part of our life and then go do our, you know, our regular routine or do something that's out of our routine. And a lot of times that kind of stuff bleeds through. So I feel like without really going too much in depth into it, Scarlet just became one of the most interesting characters this episode in terms of a character.
Yep.
With just one line.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that didn't really require much.
No, it didn't. But like I've felt that. Like you know.
Yeah.
What we do doesn't make it so we need to doubt people, but there are times where I've caught myself, like, say, you know, hanging out with somebody and talking about like some favorite story or something like that, and I kind of go into like critique mode or something when that wasn't necessarily what was desired from the other person. It was more just like, you know, hanging out and shooting the shit, right? And it's like, oh man, wait, no,
like you're getting way too in depth into this.
Right. It's like, hold on, I don't need to do that, you know.
Right.
Like, just relax and hang out and, you know, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's something that's rather interesting from the standpoint also of Dandy, who went through this kind of phase of where he became this sage of love for a brief bit.
I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, yeah. And he's all like,
bit.
we don't need food. We just need... And we're like, boobies, butt,
yeah.
like, love. And I'm like, wait a minute.
That's actually...
Like,
okay.
I'm like, Dandy. Like,
surprisingly wise.
Listen to some Beatles music recently.
Yeah,
like,
love is all you need.
Yeah, yeah. And that's... okay, but then of course he brings it into Dandy style. It's like, love is not something you tractor beam in, it's something that you give.
And it's like, okay,
naked and vulnerable. Yeah. And you're like, and he's like, it just ends me so much I could burst. And I'm like, oh my god, like, dude,
right.
calm
here
down. Like,
yeah, it's
Dandy does seem like the kind of person, though, with, like, if his life fell apart with regards to all purpose and meaning and stuff.
It hasn't? Wait.
Yeah. With regards to, like, if he wouldn't even have food, he would probably just, he would probably just wither away. And, anyway, I'm not going to go there.
One of the other things I love this episode, like, well, okay, there were a lot of, like, puns and, like, tongue-in-cheek little, like, like phrasing
get your
jokes,
asteroid over to the mixer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then also things like, oh, you're not such a hard ass after all, you know, which is another whole reference to the boobs
and he's
versus
also
ass
got
thing.
His hand on her ass as he's
and
over his shoulder.
And then Meow is just like, whoa. As he's getting dragged by the tail, just staring up.
Because he's still drunk.
He's still totally shit-faced, right?
But the best part about this is that if you just imagine the way physics work when you're running, like your shoulders do this, and if she's got any level of jiggle in her butt, it's just kind of...
Well, even if it's not in her butt, just because, you know, her body's not going to be staying perfectly rigid the entire time. So her butt's going to be swaying even if it's not jiggling. Like,
and then, by extension, her dress will be...
And that was sort of a... left up to the imagination. Exactly. Was it just the movement, or you know, or the shape, or was it?
And that was
something in particular?
The classy part of the dirty joke. Yes.
But man,
that they didn't actually need to show anything.
And we even had a legit space battle. Like, even though it didn't last very long, it was still something where we got it for a little bit. Like, like that's something. Like, usually in Space Dandy episodes, it's like there will be some sort of surfing, you know, scene or whatever bit, which is cool. But
or a sun eradicates planets in their species.
Right? Yeah, a planet explodes somehow. But that doesn't excite me as much as seeing like spaceships warp in and things like that.
Yeah, even though you have no connection to the Gogol Empire.
No connection whatsoever, right? Like, tenuous through Gel at best, right?
Right.
You know, but that's it. And the fact
Gel's died so many times at this point, like, it doesn't even...
But then also the fact that Gel started to fall for Honey, and he was like, hold on. Like, I was thinking...
He said, be still my beating heart.
Yeah. I was thinking it was going to be something where he would be like, no, and he would actually stand up to what's-his-face skeleton guy.
Oh, yeah.
Be like, I will not do that.
Admiral Perry, I think.
Perry. Yes, that's right. Like,
I'm Perry the Necromancer.
Yep.
I am the Arch Lich of the universe. You will bow before me. Perry. His name is like a fruit.
Is it good or bad, Perry? Because let me tell you, I have had a day.
It's a bit wooden and kind of chunky, so I wouldn't recommend biting into it. Yeah.
But yeah, this episode was absolutely wonderful. Like, it was imaginative and creative and well put together, and it even made me like a laugh track. Like, I did.
That's impressive.
That is something that I did not ever think would happen again.
Wait, so in this episode, we got our wish. They went into goofily mundane and wacky crazy all into one.
This perfect
they made
mishmash.
A little drama sitcom, romantic comedy episode with a laugh track, and then also went for love and the clouds of the interdimensional traveling, you know, space being that projects its own soul out into the... Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to get actually a little bit in depth here, just a little bit of analysis.
Okay. All right.
The Cloudian And the reason why they quickly wanted to subvert the expectations of the Cloudian being some like chauvinistic, like
utilization
predator
kind
that
of
goes after that weak-willed women necessarily, was because his emotions and his desires and all that are worn out in his atmosphere. His love and all that he is vulnerable and put on display. He has
Constantly,
no weapons.
yeah. Right.
So when the outside world comes in and says, no, your love is wrong. Your love is...
When it's literally on display for them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's beautiful, but no, they're going to fire missiles at it.
Right.
It hurts him. It actually hurts him. And then he storms out and goes full X-Men and just, that was a cool expression of it with the animation and stuff. But I liked the idea that Dandy's little thing about how love is something you give, something you're naked and vulnerable. And then this guy who goes around, seemingly predating on women that are desperate or are lonely or just not doing well in general, it might not be so simple. It's something where, no, if anything, he has all this love to give, doesn't know how to express it. So he's doing things that, aren't necessarily the best way of doing it, because in some ways you still don't know actually at this point his intentions.
Sure.
But that's not the point here. The point is that the way he's displaying his love via just the visual storytelling of his world and stuff, that's better than what Scarlet and Dandy do.
Well, and one of the other ways to think about things, because tying in with what Dandy said of love is something that you give, not necessarily in the naked and vulnerable side of things, although in a sense
in a sense he's right though.
But it's also something where if it is something that is that wonderful and that powerful, and it is something to be given, and it is something, and he is telling the truth that it is something that has no ulterior motives for it,
right?
Then he is specifically trying to find the people who he deems will need it the most.
That is something that is I would say, if you can look at it through the lens of innocence, in that there is no ulterior motive in it. And I'd say, unfortunately for most of us, we know where our own faults lie, so we can end up kind of being unable to see something as being a pure motive and stuff. But if you're right within this here, that is something where someone like Scarlet and someone like Dandy probably needed to encounter a being like this at some point, because Scarlet's issue is that she's unable to be vulnerable to let someone in because she constantly doubts their motives. That makes sense. You should primarily doubt people's intentions just a little bit, and it's not necessarily that you know what their intentions are,
but but just
ask questions. Don't accept everything at face value. That's a generally speaking pretty decent way to live. Now it doesn't work as you go too far into the extremes.
It can cause some trouble.
Right. Dandy, however, is in the
far opposite.
He's in some ways in the area where the Cloudian was being judged as. He's actually a little bit more of the, he kind of takes advantage of whatever means he can get in order to just objectify some women and get, into their business and stuff.
But then he also does have his moments of wisdom.
Absolutely, yes. And in some ways he needs to be few and far between, but he needs to be, under a very specific state,
set of circumstances
physically in order to be so desperate that he would actually
his mind transcend
his
own raging testosterone.
That's actually kind of interesting. In those points where you're actually at your lowest, you're open for the greatest change, to quote something that not as many people have seen. But I would say also, Dandy could have gone the other way. So this is actually something getting at the soul of Dandy. Deep down in there, he is actually a pretty good guy, and he just wants love. But he's expressing it through this machismo style of way of doing things.
Yeah. In their final moments, people show you their true colors.
Right. So Dandy revealed who he really was when he was at his dying, starving, point.
And in a lot of ways, that was maybe what caught Scarlet's eye, in addition to just being, sloshed.
True. But that's another way that you can change your outlook on what desperation is, because desperation is just your point where you're getting lower and lower, and you see that you're getting into a lower and lower state, and you don't necessarily want to hit zero.
So your priorities get a lot simpler.
Exactly. You start doing things that are way more straightforward. You stop beating around the bush. Things get less nuanced. In that regard, she's just like, fine, I'll go to a mixer, I'll put on a ridiculously like beautiful dress and stuff, and I'll I'll suffer through the little bit of the awkwardness of it,
even if most of the people there are aliens with tentacles.
I've talked with a lot of people who are in that. I'm sorry, I just moved on completely.
I've talked with a lot of aliens with tentacles.
No. I've talked with a lot of people though. I'm 28. A lot of people, when they start to get around my age, their desires for what they look for in a partner start to simplify quite a bit, because they grow out of that kind of childlike ideal picture of who's the perfect one and stuff, and things get a lot simpler. And it's fun to kind of look at that and go, oh, I totally understand that. I see the practicality in that. I see the maturity in that, even though, it's not, completely off to one side where it's just like, I need a person that is a person,
Ideally 2 legs.
Right. Oh my God. But all that kind of over the top, I would say extremely extrapolated analysis aside, this was a really fun episode. Just to kind of take the last 10 minutes and
bring it back home to just be like, yes, this is a lot of discussion from a very simple episode, but this episode was awesome.
This episode was really good. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. I wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. It's really awesome, and it's on Amazon if you're interested. The link is in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see it there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.